What is going on, everybody? And yes, it is time. It took a long while to get here, but it is finally time for me to discuss the Battlefield Hardline beta, the second beta. And what a journey. But before I get into the actual beta itself and to give you my thoughts on it, I just would like to go over a little bit of the actual journey to get into the game. So, first off, I would like to say, what the hell Sony or whoever thought this was a good idea? So I go to the PlayStation Store and I download it. Battlefield Hardline Beta. Download, no problem. It downloads. Took about a couple hours, maybe hour and a half. Actually, no, it's about an hour. Sorry about that. To download from the PlayStation Store. I was like, oh, cool, no big deal. So I downloaded it, and I was like, I'll play it later on that night. So later on that night, I go to launch it, and this is what I see. Yeah. I launch the game, and I get this screen that tells me that it's only 46% completed. What the hell? So I saw that and I was immediately confused. I'm like, yeah, at first I thought it was kind of strange that the download was 2 gigabytes. I kind of figured the beta would be more than 2 gigabytes. But you know what? When you download stuff off the store, whether it's DLC or expansion packs, it usually just downloads the whole thing for you. There's no hidden gigs or anything, but this one did. Because if you go to the tab on the PlayStation 4 Home, hit Options, and then Information, it'll tell you it's still downloading, and it's 11 gigabytes. So, yeah, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. It was really annoying, and ruined my chances of playing this as early as I could have. But, enough about that. Let's talk about the actual beta itself. The Battlefield Hardline beta. I would sum it up as, it's interesting. It's interesting. There's a lot of things I like about it. And then there's some things that I think could present a problem in the future, at least from my experience with the beta so far. So let's get into it. Okay, first off, the first thing I noticed was it was very smooth. The gameplay was very smooth, very fast. It was almost kind of reminiscent of Call of Duty. And I actually kind of liked that. I thought it was kind of refreshing. Now, I know some people, some hardcore Battlefield fans might not like that because they want Battlefield to be different from Call of Duty. And I can see that, but I actually liked the smooth gameplay. I think it fit right into the actual maps that I played on and the game modes. And it really added to it. It was a lot of fast-paced combat, and it was really hard to get used to at first, because mostly Battlefield is about picking your spots, mostly picking off people from long distances with either a sniper rifle or an assault rifle. It wasn't really usually about close-range combat, but there was a lot of close-range combat in this beta. Which, I don't know how that's going to work. I personally don't mind it because I like close-range combat and I like long-range combat. But there's some people that don't like close-range combat in like the Call of Duty games, but they love the long-range Battlefield combat with sniping and vehicles and all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. I personally thought it was pretty good. Another thing I noticed, at least from my experience, is it seems like the submachine guns and the shotguns are pretty overpowered. Maybe not really overpowered, maybe slightly overpowered, but I did notice I was dropping people insanely quick with the MP5K. A lot quicker than I was with the assault rifle that you start with. And I can't tell you how many times I was playing this game and I was getting destroyed by shotguns. So, from what I've seen so far, it seems like those are going to be the two most overpowered weapons in the game. Now, maybe the final game will be different. I don't know, but I did notice I was doing a lot better once I selected the MP5K over the assault rifle. Because I started my first game with the assault rifle, and I couldn't down as many people as I figured I would. So, it also kind of factor in that I was rusty, because this is the first time I played a Battlefield game in, wow, like, maybe a year, I would say, because I think it's been how long since I've played Battlefield 4 last. So, yeah, it's been quite a long time, so you got to factor in the rust factor. So, another thing I noticed that I actually liked was it seems like the hit detection was actually really accurate. When I was hitting people's bodies, I was getting the hit markers, and it felt like all the bolts were connecting. I hate in a lot of games where you hit people and you hit them and then there's no hit markers. And then sometimes there's hit markers, but it doesn't feel like they're registering. So, it's pretty interesting. To me, the hit markers looked kind of accurate. With close range combat, though. However, when I was trying to do long range combat with the assault rifle, I wasn't getting many shots on people. Now, once again, that could also attribute to the fact that I was rusty. I'm going to play more of the beta since I think it's up for 4 or 5 more days, I think. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I definitely will be playing this a lot more, and then hopefully I'll get better. And we'll see what happens then. So, alright, in the beta there's only 3 game modes, and I only played one game mode. I played the heist game mode, and it was actually it's pretty good. The thing that makes this Battlefield seem different from at least the other Battlefields is that you really need teamwork in this game mode. See, like in Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, you could play Conquest and Rush, and while you could do some teamwork in there, you could also go Lone Wolf, and you can have success that way too. From what I've seen so far in Heist, you can't do that. Because there are so many doorways, there are so many choke points that the other team can set up that you really need to work together and stick together in this game mode if you want to grab those packages. So I like that. I like that because I love teamwork. I love when teamwork works, and that's one of the reasons why I've always loved Battlefield over Call of Duty, is the fact that the game rewards you with teamwork. You get more points, you get more rewards when you actually play objectives in Battlefield over, say, Call of Duty. And I love that. So it seems like the heist game mode is going to require a lot of teamwork, and I really enjoy that. Unfortunately, playing with randoms doesn't lead to a lot of success, but it is what it is. So the other game mode is Hotwire, which I haven't played yet, but it revolves around vehicles. So if you love vehicle combat, that'll probably be the game mode for you. And then, of course, it had your traditional Battlefield 64-player Conquest game mode, which is going to please a lot of the old school fans that want to play old school Battlefield game modes. I'm glad they included it so that even if some of the Battlefield fans don't like some of these new game modes, you can still play traditional Battlefield. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts on the beta. So I'm going to be playing more of it, and we'll see if any of my opinions change. I could make a follow-up video, or I might add on to the description of this video if anything changes. But I'm enjoying the beta so far. I'm enjoying it. And I'm probably going to now pre-order this game and pick it up day one, because I think this is a lot more well polished than Battlefield 4's beta and then Battlefield 4's eventual launch. Now, this could end up being like Battlefield 4's launch. I mean, anything can happen. And unfortunately, if it does happen, this will be the last Battlefield game I pick up on day one. And I hate to say it, but I really don't want to see another Battlefield 4 issue happen, because that was completely ridiculous. There's a reason people called it Broken Field 4. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all later.